Hey guys, and welcome to yet another Red Gaming Tech video featuring more of the weapons from the Go beta. In this we're going to be taking a look at the Scout and the MP7, or should I say the SSG-08 and the MP7, as it's now been renamed. We're going to just be doing the regular fire tests. I figure this is a pretty good map because of obvious reasons. It's got nice long straights, which is going to be great for sniping. I'll do the normal tests that I did with the AWP, or AWM, depending on what you want to call it. First will be I shoot at this range, both standing and crouching, and then moving side to side, and then running forward, and then I'll go all the way down there and be shooting and doing similar things. I'll probably be using these targets, and then maybe even all the way down into the far distance. And then for guys who are like the submachine gun action, I'll also be doing the same thing. So with that said, I'm going to be standing at these boxes first. I figure this is a nice, actually I'll just go a little bit higher. I figure this is a nice relatively flat surface, and then I'll start shooting, and then we'll go down a little bit further, and then go down all the way there, which is quite a distance away. So with that said, I'm just going to stand and shoot, and I'll just hold down the button basically. It doesn't also fire, but you get the general idea. Pretty much, the grouping is pretty damn rock solid. I'll aim, say, about here, which represents my crouching shot. Unsurprisingly, it basically hits on a dime. So I'm going to start moving side to side. I forgot about the clip, never mind. I'll try it with just regular level zoom. And then finally, I'll reload. And I'll shoot, so when I'm going forward. As you can see, it definitely goes wide in that case. We'll shoot that high. Now we'll try the same thing at a slightly longer distance. I'll go from about here, which I feel is representative of kind of a good shot. I'm crouching to shoot, and standing, it's not much of a difference. Long range is not going to be a problem with this weapon, which is pretty good considering it's a sniper rifle. Long range shooting. I'm going to try to hit it, let's say, under this lamp as I'm going past. So how successful I was with that, after the reload of course. Apparently not very. Finally, I'm going to be aiming all the way down into the far distance. Now, the weapons can quick switch, including, of course, when you're reloading. But the gun has to go for the full reload animation for that to occur. So even if you interrupt it before the bolt is completely pulled back, your gun will not count as loaded, as I've clearly demonstrated by now, I feel. Also, of course, it does have armor piercing capacity, and of course it will go through that without too much trouble. So, anyway, moving on. There's a couple of weapons here. I mistakenly bought one, so you'll just have to, I don't know if that may do, but the weapon we're really looking at is this one. It's actually quite a nice weapon model as well. I'll zoom in for a moment so you can see that. It's MP7, which of course replaces the old MP5 from previous versions, I believe. I'm not much of a gun nut, so someone might be able to correct me on the name. There is no look down the sights, of course, as it's just a regular SMG. We'll be doing a few tests. First one, of course, will be the standard burst fire, should I say auto fire. Then I'll be doing crouching, and then the regular other tests, which I'm pretty sure most of you now are probably relatively familiar with. I'll get to a reasonably good distance, or should I say a reasonably good wall to test this with. I always quite like this area. I think this is a nice test. It's a relatively good distance, and I feel it was accurate representation of something that you'd actually be using an SMG for distance-wise. once again, I'll just do that here. I'll do the same crouched. As you can see, the grouping is actually fairly reasonable. If you start low enough, basically the person's going to get a nice face full of the lead, which is probably what they don't want, to be honest. I'll do the standard burst fire. And also the wall peeking version of this. I'll also do it a little bit further as well, just so you guys can get a good idea of that. Let's say here. It's probably a bit further than you would actually realistically use it, but I feel that's may as well. Once again, pretty good. Also do a quick burst fire through here. Finally, I'll do a run towards, say, this wall, if you will. Once again, the mouse is not going to be moved for this. Pretty inaccurate when running straight forward. So, obviously this weapon, unsurprisingly, is best in short control burst. If you do relatively short control bursts, it's pretty much accurate to a dime. And even when moving around, it's pretty damn accurate. So I think this takes care of those two weapons. Continuing with the last weapon that's currently available, at least to my understanding, we're going to be taking a look at the PP-Bizon, I believe is how you pronounce it. This is a kind of interesting weapon. It's quite a lot of ammo actually, 64 in a clip. Haven't really had a chance to test this out myself, so this is going to be a learning experience for both you and I. It's available for the terrorist force. Of course, the MP7 was, as far as I'm aware, only available for the counter-terrorists, so at least it is, as far as I'm aware, right now in beta. So we're going to be doing regular tests. I've bought 3 of the weapons, so we can be certainly quite generous with our ammo consumption. So I feel the regular tests, as I've just shown in the video, so I don't need to explain them again. I'll be shooting from this wall. I think that's a pretty good representation. I don't think we need to completely use the entire clip for that. It's actually pretty accurate considering. We'll use a different wall. I think this one's pretty good. I'll move back a little bit, however, so you can get a really good. And also do the same, slightly less range actually. And I'm actually quite curious myself what happens if I try to negate the recoil, so I'll try to drag it against it. And that's relatively how it is, so you can see the difference in the recoil there. It's actually quite a nice reload animation, I quite like that, it's quite in detail. But anyway, that's me trying to fight against it somewhat, and that's natural, so you guys can, I'll go like this for a moment so you guys can get a reasonable idea of the difference. So I think that's a relatively good example of that. I'll also do the other tests that I've been consistently doing, side-to-side tests. Probably the worst area I could possibly choose would be that one. So let's go for a slightly different one. This is quite a nice wall here. I think it needs to be, let's say, decorated. Quickly let you guys see the groupings of that. Gonna go quickly grab one of my other guns. I'll show you the stabbing animations because I'm sure you guys are really interested in that. Let's see, we grab a weapon, and let's see, what else do I need to show you guys? I think probably the main thing I will show you is the running at a target. I assume that'll be pretty good. This is a fairly clean wall, so I think this will be quite representative of what it will be like. I know it's shocking, but it's not exactly the most accurate doing that. And finally I'll show you some wall peeking stuff. I don't think that's going to be a very good surface to try that on. We'll try something a bit different. I'll have a quick wander around the map. I think we can find something kind of useful, maybe, for this. I figure this will be quite nice in here. There we go, nice double door area. I figure this is quite nice, it's quite realistic. If you guys haven't seen the map, which I'm pretty sure everyone has by now, but anyway, this is what it looks like now. So I'm just going to be doing regular tests. I think it's quite nice because it's a nice angled surface, so you get to see that. And we're of course now out of ammo. So that would be the last. Oh, and also I'll quickly show you. This is the new alert. I was actually referring to this in a previous video, but for some reason I couldn't find the Glock on the floor. So anyway, you guys can see the alert now. It's actually pretty big, so it's rather than just a little bit of text on the screen, it's literally showing you. So if you do accidentally switch to a different mode, which I'll just quickly show you, but I think I would have showed it in a different video, but anyway, then you'll know what it looks like now. Anyway, I think this just about wraps up this video. So you guys take care and see you later. Bye.